Ask the Author, a show about inspiring stories and conversations by creatives and all forms of art, music, movies, visual art, authors, creative writing, poetry, dance, culinary art, among others. Brought to you by the multi-award-winning author, life coach, and poet, Richard Mwebesa.
Okay, so carry on with the story. So, you get a mentor. Well, that's what I hear you say. You get a mentor. His name is, again?
Happy Chaze.
Happy Chaze. So he's the one who, like, introduces you to the...
So what happened is now I got the exchange contacts. I got done with my senior six. I came back to start working. We exchange contacts. So I called, like, I want to start. It was like, the first requirement, you have to buy a saxophone. American salary cannot afford to buy a saxophone. What happens? I wake up one day and I'm like, I have to get a loan. I got a loan, I think, of 900,000 as a loan I got. And Happy calls me. He's like, there's an instrument here and they want 900,000. I went with the money, I bought it immediately. That was 2018. In around November.
2018,
around November. Because I got done with my senior six in 2017.
17, okay.
So immediately after getting the instrument, I started practicing. He could call me.
So
come here.
would he teach you, or the sax? It is easier for you to learn the sax if you play the trombone. And these other wind instruments.
Yeah, it gets easier because it gets when you're musical. So what happens is, in music, people are busy. Someone just calling you to talk to you is enough. It's like he has taught you something, just tells you what to do. Because even in class, they will tell you, go and read this, go and search this, you get. Exactly. So he told me what to do after me getting the instrument. He would call me.
So would you also get tutorials from YouTube?
Tutorials? Yeah,
and
I'm self-taught.
Learn from YouTube?
Yes. I taught myself.
Without even tutorials on YouTube?
No, with the tutorials on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's the teacher.
Exactly.
The YouTube is the teacher.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I get in touch with this guy. He's a busy guy. And he also to some extent, I'm busy at school. I have to make sure that I do this at school. I had a lot of responsibilities at school to do. So some evenings would call me. Just by fact of you just being where music is, where someone is playing what you want,
what you like.
Inspiration.
It magnetizes
exactly.
you. It attracts you.
Exactly. By the time you go back home, you're like, I want to be like this person. So
Happy was your sure mentor and coach.
Yeah.
So whenever I played the sax, you actually fell more in love with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I want to know where is the band today playing from. Is there saxophonist in that band? That was only enough for me to learn. Each time I could go back home, I'm like, I want to be like the other one who was playing from there. Of course, by then I would not know who is very good.
Yes. Of course, when you're still
when you're learning,
you can't tell the art.
Exactly.
So in terms of that, moving on, so you learned. How long did it take you to learn the sax?
Learning does not stop. But all I know...
I like what you say. We're all students of life.
Yeah.
And art, you keep learning and growing and getting better and better. Yes, but carry on.
So, 2018, that is around November. So it was like 1 month to the new year, that was 2019. So I'd love to say, in short, 2019, that's when my journey really started. So I started practicing every day. I really wanted to learn. So in around 1 month, 2 months there was a band which came to school to play on prom party. So I saw the guys playing. I was like, you guys also want to join your band? I don't know how to play this song, I'm just learning. So since this band was also just starting, they needed very many people in the band.
Yes, true.
Like even if you just come and stand on stage with your saxophone, it is okay. So like,
so they give you a platform.
The next day they called me.
Name of band?
Apple Code. Back in the days, I no longer in existence. So the next day they called me. Come put you on black. We're going to do a photo shoot. The only thing I think I knew only 1 or 2 scales in the saxophone. We are posing for the photo shoot for the posters where they could perform. They called me. You go there. Now that thing motivated that to be on stage
and get embarrassed. Solo practicing, rehearsal. Hold it there. Steve Covey, in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, people. He talks about one of the habits. He says, sharpen the saw. So the more you sharpen, you get better. Then also the book Outlier, by Malcolm Gladwell. Yes, he talks about the 10,000 hour rule. He says that anything you want to be professional at, do it for a minimum of 10,000 hours, which is about 1,000 hours per year, which makes 10 years. But there are shortcuts. The more you do something, you get better. Then me, in my book Out of the Crowd, I also put a frame called Able. Yes, I frame it the way we say the essence for attitude. Your attitude towards things can open doors for you. If you love something and your attitude is positive, you always land. Because said, where there's a will, there's always a way. Then the B stands for believability. You ought to be believable in the things that you do, so that people want to buy your craft or your art because you believe in what you're doing, and that believability also brings uniqueness. Then the L stands for the learnings, which I say we are learners and students of life. Yes, in art you can never know, and the more you know, the more you learn, the more you realize you do not know. And the more you realize you do not know, the more humble you ought to become, because you know there's someone out there who's done it. The wisest man under the sun, Solomon says, there's nothing new under the sun. So in that whole craft, then the E stands for exposure, which we just talked about, which I like so much. The acronym I framed in Out of the Crowd, EBO, the exposure, because when you expose, you can go to New York and back even without going there. So I believe the guys give you a platform for exposure, so that you're able to learn. And the exposure in your past history, in your life, as you mentioned, the band is what gave you a bit more context to be able to grow. So ladies and gentlemen, would like to stop here for our first part and segment, because the story is quite interesting. But before we go some and wrap up to break off for the first part, I see that instrument is very interesting. I would like, the reason as the author, because I always say you're an author because you're a musician and you play the sax, so you author music, and you're creative, so you bring to life musical tunes from that instrument. So when people see it, that instrument, they don't know what it is. So just help us unpack that instrument. I see there's a part there where you put your mouth. Just explain to us what it looks very complicated. And by the way, I didn't know this is a full car or plot of land in your hands. A saxophone as expensive as 20 million. Mugana ogulachi. Sam ogulachi.
Money that is no capital.
Is all assets and asset business. Interesting. I like what you say, how you approach it. But tell us more. Explain what chino chitegezachi wali woteko mu mwapiro bichibino. I see most saxophonists by name to be banyiga. What does this instrument look like? How beautiful is it, and how does the sound come out of it? As we wrap up the first part.
This instrument, it is made up of different parts. But what I would love to say, there are mainly three major parts. We have the bell.
The bell
from here up to here. This is the bell.
In the camera, you're explaining to our audience, because we're learning. I'm also learning.
This is the bell.
So from here, can I touch it?
Yeah, you can touch it.
Permission. So I need to. So from here to where?
Down here. Actually, we can take up to here.
From the top to
up to here.
To here is the bell.
This is the bell.
Okay. Then, so what does that do?
The bell is the one that projects out the sound.
Projects
where the sound comes from. Okay. Then from the bell in here, from here up to here, up here. Let me remove this.
Hey, kavanako.
Let me remove this. So from here up to here, this is the body, the main body.
The body.
That is where the whole technique, like that technique of producing out things.
The sound
exactly. Of changing the notes, what like that. And it's comprised of different things. We have the pads, the buttons.
Those buttons.
Yeah. These are the ones we press.
It's
comprised of this, but the buttons is where we do those melodies. We get this.
Press again, we see?
This is where there is a whole technique here.
Because you're using wind. When you blow wind inside there, so the wind comes out from the different. What are those? Are they pipes? They look like pipes.
This is the pipes, the pads.
Pads. But this whole pipe has holes.
Yeah, it has
just
holes.
Turn and we show, because what you can see there are holes in there. So when you blow the air, it goes through that pipe.
Exactly.
So the more you play here, now that's where the art comes in. It's a creativity, because not everybody is able to play around with that kind of creativity.
Yeah.
But carry on and teach us more.
So this is the body, composed of a lot of things, as I've told you. Then after here we have this, and this one is also very important. This is what we call the neck.
Lindako Sam. What about when the beno wansi bulinga mukia muchi?
Buno kati buno bwe button buno buno buchusa sound.
They change sound.
Keys. That is a transformation of voices. Yeah, okay. You can change from C, go to C sharp or what like that. You get it? So every button you press here counts.
Yeah. So kati buno buli wansi. These both other keys here ukola buchiwo.
Kati buno.
Why are they smaller than the other big ones?
Why are they kati? Walawa kati mu music. Zino bu notes ezili wansi buno zili wansi. These ones are for the lower notes.
On the scale, musical scale.
Lower notes.
Abatamai musical scale ye. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
As you can see, that wagulu one is small, and as you're going down,
they are bigger. Buttons are bigger.
Yeah, exactly.
Mo camera, choose a word saxophone.
Whatever one wagulu is small, as you continue going downwards, it gets what? It becomes big. So the upper notes here.
Lindako, Muluganda saxophone bagitaji. Omulere. Yeah. Okay.
Kati, this saxophone. Now, when you leave this part, composed of very many things. This is where your brain is here, where your brain connects with your fingers. Yeah. Yes. Because
the artistic mind is now connecting with these fingers.
Exactly.
Wow.
So the brain works with the fingers. You don't even need to look here when you're playing. It is your brain
which is connecting with the fingers, and the music is coming out. Very complicated. Choose another tulabe nzikanjige nawe osanga alukama ndiye student nange ndiye roni nguleyo ka plot beginners.
Yeah.
Kati no yaba professional. Banai. Kati ndaba
ate kino inachifuna nga kirabo. I will tell you the story how I got it.
It's in part 2.
Because you can see here, you can see the name here.
Yes.
So you know where I got it from.
Wow. Let me see.
Najifuna nga kirabo.
Wow. Hey! Oyo mumanyi. Owali bashiro ngama mumanyi. Kati oyo guy wamusanga wa?
Tubera nabo.
Tujja musanga mu part 2. Ndidali erinya. Surprise act. Erinya lyenda be wano. Eriyo munene. Yes, Sam. Wenda lwaki osirikidde ebyama? Yes, so Sam, just you still explain to us the sax instrument eyo. Okuva ndaba waliwo gears nyingi. Ndabamu obuuma bungi. Bwonna bukola ki? Kati nga buno obuuma bukola ki?
Kati olaba buno. Kati buno we support system eziholdinga zino bu battle. Check that one is where this is support system which holds them. Check here. And here this part is so complicated. Even just a single, if you just cut a single tune like this,
will change the sound.
It's not what is what I call. Check it.
Okay.
But it's what I call.
So let me ask you: are there saxophone tuners?
Yeah, they're there.
Are they instruments or people? It's people who listen.
One can be the person. If you've been in the industry for so long, you can't do it using your ear.
Okay. But there's also a tuner for.
There's a tuner.
That's like guitars have a tuner.
Yeah. But I think with saxophonists, I think they don't usually use it much.
Okay.
It mainly happens with the guitar people.
Guitar, okay.
Yeah. So for us, our tuning, mostly so much happens here at the mouthpiece.
Yes. You had removed that upper part earlier. So that other part, what is that?
So this is what we call.
It looks like a pipe. That guy smoke. Interestingly, when you unplug it.
So this is the head.
Okay.
Or the neck.
The neck. Okay.
Actually, let me call it a neck. This is the neck. A neck comprises of different parts. We have the mouthpiece, and this is the neck. It has the mouthpiece here, and this is the cork. The cork is where the mouthpiece.
Interestingly, first before you put back the mouthpiece, you see when you make it that when you talk about that cork, it looks like a pistol. Just put it in for view. It looks exactly. Like interesting. So what does that do? That neck.
This is where the sound comes from.
I thought the sound comes from the bell.
This is the input.
Input.
This is the
output.
Okay. This is where we do the blowing.
Okay.
The blowing.
So inside that neck, is there like a system of other devices in there?
Now here we have.
Or it's just a pipe.
We have a button here.
Uh-huh.
Usually this one.
Well, that's also a button.
Yeah. This is an octave key.
What did you say?
Octave.
Octave.
Yeah.
Key. Okay.
You get, which is here. But when you put it here, there's like a button which controls it, which is here. This is an octave key.
Yes.
And this is just continuation.
Ah.
You get octave key.
So the saxophone looks a very complicated instrument. So even playing it, doesn't it give you a lot of stress and headache to produce that melancholic sound?
Not really.
And melody.
What I may say, it also depends. Now when we come here, for what you've said, does it bring headache, but like that? It depends on the machine you're using. One thing is the reed you're using. Now
the reed, what is
the
reed?
This is a mouthpiece.
Mouthpiece.
Now in the mouthpiece, it comprises of different parts which go in. We have the reed.
We call it a reed.
Reed.
That kind of thing which looks
wooden.
It looks wooden, yes.
But if you research, it takes over 10 years to be manufactured.
What? 10 years to manufacture just that kind of thing?
Yeah, over 10 years.
Why?
It's a lot of process.
Why is it very complicated?
Manya from where they were from the garden, take it to the store for this couple of time, take it to the other side for this.
So what does it do? What's its purpose on the sound?
Now this is the sound, everything. This is everything that brings the sound.
The sound?
Yeah. Just bring that sound.
Sam, what the expert in ongamba otya nti akagundi akalinga ki? It looks like a kachip. Akalinga akati. Tebasaze ku gundi. Sawdust, bakata sawdust. Omanyi we abasajja what are the carpenters? Kubanga oli mu workshop. Kalinga akajasi. Kakwate ko.
Looks like what ako?
Naye ogambe sebo. Sasa kwata ku plot yo nemenyeka.
Olaba katikano. Osobola nga you have only one. Ogenze maybe deep in a village, very deep village. Accidentally, even if just take a single, it breaks, just take a small
cracks. Sound you never afford. The saxophone never
sound a choker. Kamitwale ebiri mu kibuga.
Twale ebiri, eh? But
so now, what you talked about giving a headache using a lot of strength depends on this.
On that,
you have to learn. You have to know your strength.
Okay.
If you know you
the strength in blowing. The air.
Yeah. So if you know you don't have much, you reduce on the size of the reed. You get.
Okay.
Now we have this one. This is 3.0. We have 2.0. Then we have 1. Okay.
Looks like now put it back together because we want to come to the end
so
of the conversation.
And this is what we call a ligature.
This is what?
Ligature. So it is the one that keeps the reed and the mouthpiece
together. Okay.
So you get. So also this mouthpiece contributes a lot to your sound.
I'm seeing some things there that look like screws.
Yeah, this is the one that you tighten.
Yeah. Okay.
Tighten the reed.
The reed
on the mouthpiece.
Okay.
So, but this contributes a lot to your sound. A lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's where your mouth is put and you blow the air.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it depends on the level of professionality.
Yes.
You can decide to use one of 150. You can decide to use one of 5 millions, 2 million, 3 millions. You get.
Okay.
You know, if someone can Google it.
So let me ask you, if you're buying like servicing, does that instrument get serviced?
It gets serviced.
So like when you're servicing it, you can buy some other spare parts, or you have some spare parts with you already.
Mainly we change the pads. Find that the pads are worn out
because of over pressing.
Yeah. You just change them. That is mainly what is there.
Isn't it expensive to do that?
It is expensive because each time a saxophone goes off, you know it's not working well.
Yes.
You should count like over 100,000
just to get
and someone, and there are people who know how to prepare them. They are not more people who know it very well. Yes. Actually, in Uganda, we don't have the ones who know it very well. No leader they.
So
give those who have an idea.
Okay.
Interesting. So this is a saxophone, and this is the neck.
The neck.
So this is where the aeration happens from, and this is where the output comes out from. Bell. And this is where there is a brain. You do the techniques all here, the body.
Thank you for bringing out the brain, because now as the author we talk about creativity and creatives. So as a creative, as a saxophonist and musician, how do you put to work your creative mind? It is said, so I think the left side of the brain is the creative brain. So how do you bring creativity into playing this instrument?
How I bring creativity into playing this instrument.
Okay. Kankavunule nkagonzeemu oba ng'ofuwa omuliro ogwo omuliro gulina amapeesa ago gonna wetwogedde kati w'ofuwa muno omukka kati nganze atamanyi kufuwa muliro kyetaaga obwongo okubanga obwongo obuyiiya nti kati neetaaga okukwata wano nkwate wali oba waliwo ne babata music composers abawanika ennyimba ku mulere they compose music their own tunes through it. So the creativity aspect comes from that aspect. So kati nga gwe how do you use your creative mind and the musical ear? Wagambye earlier nti having a musical ear oba okutu okuwuliriza music ne melodies ne sound osobola okuyiiya ennyimba ezizo ate okuba ennyimba z'abalala enoyizaako ennyimba ezizo oba okikola otya process egenda etya osooka kuwandiika bigambo oba osooka kufuuwamu wano omukkaate nno kijja kitya
composing music usually happens according to your mood
ku mood yo kati oba oli munyivu osobola okufuuwa omulere ne gwabika gonna
olaba omuntu abeera heart broken.
Okay.
Emotion.
Basically the mood and the emotion. Okay.
When someone is happy, just imagine like you're happy right now, you're very happy. You can try to compose something. Just get a melody.
So inspiration, what I hear says inspiration can come from different modes that you have or environments or atmosphere.
Exactly.
Okay.
And with us, it is very easy to compose.
Why?
All you need.
Because I play a bit of guitar. A bit. I'm not so proficient, but okay, depends on the chords, progressions, and the melody as well. Because music is music as well. So katwano, uchijja chitya, take us deeper. These are this instrument is very complicated. I believe it's complicated. Make it simple.
Let me simplify it. On composing a nyimba with a music instrument, it's very easy. How? All you need is a melody. Just one melody, no guitar chorus.
Samplinga, tombuza, batulaba. Take a wow, ye okuset. Ngenda akakati nando gambe kyangu soko tulage
kanji wano just assume I've recorded it. Ngenda kaddamu kawulize kuba emirundi ezo
ebiri chorus ngewedde
kati verse improvisation what you feel nokubayo freestyle you get kati bebyo kati ofunayo wali bridge ofunayo ka bridge ogamba kati kwano katekeyo kino wano okoleyo ka transposing.
I know in my past life as a music arranger, as a lead vocalist and music writer for my music group, the Kingdom Dancers, won a couple of awards in music. As also a lead rapper, now the show is not about me, it's about you. You mentioned something about arrangement of music. So actually my writing craft, because I'm now a writer and a poet, came and started from music, writing music. When I would write a melody, a tune, I would get to the chorus first, then I would do the verses, the bridges, and then join everything. I see the music and the sound has changed now. We no longer use transposers like there was. There's a bit of bridges, they're a bit shorter nowadays in the music sounds and tunes that we do. There's a bit of an intro, there's a bit of a climax. So those are issues which are all frames of art, or what they call versatility within art. So as a saxophonist, how does that versatility and diversity come into the mix as you're playing the saxophone?
As I'm playing the saxophone, as I said earlier on, that for example what I just played, there is a way I played something calm, like I was expressing out my emotions. Like if I was a little bit sad, you get, So I was expressing. So every part you do, for example, you can start with something when it's sad, and not sad, but there is that gut feeling. Even when someone hears it,
the emotion.
It's emotional.
As we wrap up, final touches. Sam, I know you are invited into places of emotion. Why you're invited at birthday parties, when people are proposing to their loved ones for marriage proposal, weddings. So you were invited into emotional elements of people's lives and to give them music, play as a professional as you are. So muntu waba yagala Sam nagambo yo Sam. How do I get Sam? Where do I find him? How do I believe you're not very expensive.
Yeah, affordable.
You're affordable.
Yeah.
Yes. So you, because I know you've been my saxophonist for the last how many years now?
Must be like 2 to 3 years.
2 to 3 years, yes. You've done some,
this idea.
Some instrumental work for me in the past, and your work is really good. So just tell the viewers here as we wrap up, where can they find you? Then I can summarize the lessons we've learned from this experience. Then we call it the day.
Hello viewers, my name is Elite Sax. Some people call me Sam Emerald. Those are all my names. It's very easy to find me. You can find me on all social media platforms: Instagram, Facebook, Telegram, TikTok. I use Elite Sax.
Elite Sax is your name.
Yeah. That's the name.
So if they want you for an occasion, you do weddings, you do graduations, any activity, you carry your sax and then you play music.
Everything, all kinds of events.
Yes. Inspiring. So who is your best saxophonist? The one you look up to and say, wow, your guy at Kuba, either locally in Uganda or internationally?
When we come to locally, there are very many. You know why? Each and every saxophonist is something I want, I like from them. So I pick something from them.
But just say, Singida, Yani.
One Uganda.
I
love all of them.
Or you like yourself as you.
Just as I say,
yes.
But everyone is okay.
Unique.
You pick something from them.
I hear you.
You get.
Kala kokabuso ni okay. At internationally,
there are a couple of them. We have the Gerald Albright. I love his performance. I love his articulation. We have Dave Cause.
Dave Cause.
Yes.
Dave Cause Mukambwe.
I love the smoothness. So each and every one I get something different. You get. And when I combine,
it makes you versatile, agile, and diverse in your craft.
That's why I may not say that there is this one person. Because find that one person may not do each and everything that you want. Yes.
Then as we wrap up, one of the key things we know in every art that you do, God has to be at the center of it all. Yes. You want to share about that?
Yeah. One thing I may love to say about my career, it has not been me, but most importantly, it has been God. It has been God. God has been there in the center. He's the one who gave me each and everything. That is a passion. I also planted what you call favor in me. Because trust me, if you don't have favor or if you don't have God, however much you play a saxophone, how?
It will not touch and impact people.
You may play very well, but you don't have that. It is anointing that you
Yes, anointing. I like what you said, the anointing. Even David, what drew him to the palace was his talent of music, playing the harp. Yes, because King Saul had challenges, was being attacked by evil spirits. So he looked for the best harpist in Israel, and David's name shows up. That's how he enters the palace to start playing music for him. So this, any places you say the saxophone has taken you, stages internationally or locally?
I've been, I've not been in the industry for so long. I started learning a saxophone. That is in 2018, around November. And around during the lockdown period is when I got enough time to practice. I practiced. So really starting working, that was in 2021, early 2021 there. So it must be like 4 years in the industry of making money. The first 2 years, that is 2021, 2022. That was, I was making a platform now. Now we count the real years, that is 2023 and 2024. So the place I've been this year was in South Sudan. I went a day before that was on 13th. I was talking to some friend of mine. I was like, man, the next day, I received a phone call.
Just like that. Through that same person, or just
I know someone is just
God
God.
opened the door.
God.
Yes, I think there's a lesson I'm hearing in what you say, that God will always bring your heart's desires before you, as long as you ask Him genuinely. So you've moved. What stage would you say that if I played on this stage, that will be my breakthrough moment?
If I play in the United States of America with those big artists, that is to say the Dove Cause, Gerald Albright,
Kakwenian.
Yeah.
We'll say,
I've made it. Because those are the icons, like the ones who are sounding worldwide. Yeah.
So as we wrap up, any young person out there who looks at you and says, Sam, the way you've explained, by the way, maximum respect to you. I love the passion, the way you held that device, that instrument, the way you were explaining to me. I've learned something about the bell, about the neck, about the buttons, about the mouthpiece. I've learned something interesting. And I love jazz. I've always loved jazz as a person. It's gospel jazz, mellow, especially, which is with a touch and blend of blues. Yeah, jazz and blues. It's my favorite. So I like that kind of music. I love it to the ear. It's, as you say, it is easier for you as a writer, yes, and as a poet and as a writer of music, to be able to lay your choruses with, I believe jazz speaks to the soul and the heart in terms of emotion. Brings out that emotion much more and deeper than any other instrument I can hear in my musical ear or my ear. So I love jazz. I've always wanted to interact with people of jazz. I think you're my first up close and personal concert.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm extremely honored. But someone out there says, when I grow up, I want to be like Sam. Yeah? Sam, can you go kuba sama bandi? That's what I like. Not what I'm saying. Like, they see you play the sax and they say, I want to be like that guy. What word would you tell them as we wrap up? Because I want to summarize the lessons, and then you play for us at least one song. Gospel sagala tugende to music atali. Yes, so someone out there saying, when I grow up, I want to be like Sam, because your story is inspiring. Yes, the way walumba, you're daring, you just say kanumbe here. No, I mean, most people here have a guardian, have a parent who helped, but for you, it was your passion driving you and taking you. So, someone advise one or a few words.
It's a very simple advice that I would have to do. If you have a passion for something, go for it. Do whatever it takes for you to get what you want.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for being with us. 5 lessons before Sam prepares to give us the outro and a melody I've learned from the story today is: number 1, if you love something and desire it in your heart, as my coach says, he always tells me that 3 things will happen. People, circumstances, and events will conspire with the universe. That's a frame within the book by Paulo Coelho, The Alchemist. He says, people, circumstances, and events will conspire with the universe to give it to you. Lesson number 2 is, if you want to do something that you love most, make sure, do not be afraid, be bold, go for it. You never know, and ask. So you shall be given. Never know, you just went, made a phone call, got a bursary from Soroti. You're tired of Soroti, said I want to come to Kampala. Then after, in A-level, you made a phone call, searched online, and then you called, and then they gave you a bursary. So you've studied under God's favor. So go for it. Lesson number 3 is, miracles do happen, which you just mentioned. You wanted to, whatever putting in you, to go on a plane, and God opened the doors for you to South Sudan. So prayers are really powerful. They can be answered. Sometimes we say prayers by mere utterance, our word, not knowing that it is something that we're actually birthing. Then lesson number 4 is that all things are possible to those that wait and those that want to get what they get. Then last but not least, I didn't know that a saxophone can cost over 20 million shillings. Very expensive instrument, and I believe the music that comes out of it is actually worth it. Though I put a disclaimer, Sam is not expensive. He's a person who is affordable, and I can confirm that. If you have a gig, please look out for his handles, or reach out, DM us as the author. We can get you into the places where you can get him. Then as I wind up, there's something you picked. I will pick an acronym called LEAD, LEAD. The L stands for likability. If at all people didn't like you, they'll never voted you 3 times in a row as entertainment prefect. Likability. And as an artist, you ought to be likable. Exposure can give you leverage anytime, any day. You got exposed because your brother Mogisha loved music, you saw him and you built your passion. Then the essence for aspirations. Have something you aspire for. For you, it was always going into the music frame and brass bands, and now here you are playing the saxophone. Then last but not least, the D is diversity. Always helps. That person who you mentioned, you can mention him again, who saw Sam and said, wait a minute, you man, I see talent in you and you should begin playing the saxophone. His name is again? Mrs. Stanley, and your coach and mentor, Happy Jaze, who taught you how to play the instrument. It's your time now, your moment. Take us away. Play us a tune. Wow. Sam, man, God bless you, and may He take you big places and bring your heart's desires. And as you mentioned, you dream the US. I pray for you that He may open those doors for you, that one day your talent will take you in places. Yeah, thank you. Until next time, bye-bye, and we are out.